Because if you're frustrated, if you're tired, if you're irritable, if you're yelling at your kids, they feel that, right? So when you take that time for yourself and really pour into yourself, then you become more engaged, you become more calm, you become more present, and it's creating that positive environment for your kids.
I think sometimes as parents we hide things because we don't want to worry them, right? But I think hiding it worries them more.
I agree.
Right? Because they're human, and they're going to have feelings too as they get overwhelmed. So it's kind of knowing like, oh, my mommy
has
those feelings too. They're normal. Welcome Linwood Unified School District families to another episode of Beyond the Classroom. We're very grateful that you continue joining us as we talk about important topics. And we continue talking about Mental Health Awareness Month. So to continue that conversation, I have another licensed clinical social worker here from Linwood Unified School District, Ms. Janai Price, who is currently housed at Cesar Chavez Middle School as our full-time licensed clinical social worker. Welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Ms. Price comes with over 15 years of experience providing mental health services throughout LA County.
Yes.
With our families, providing mental health support and crisis support, parent workshops, so all kinds of stuff that you guys do at the school sites. So here we are again talking about an important topic, which is parent burnout.
Yes.
And it's real. It's very real. Parent burnout is real. And it's very connected to mental health and taking care of ourselves. So we're going to tap into what it is, what it looks like, and what we can do as parents to prevent it.
Oh, yes.
You know, one of the things that I was telling Ms. Price was a lot of things connected to parent burnout is, one of the things is, in particular, is parent guilt. You know, I have it, I've had it, and it really requires effort on how to be very intentional with taking care of ourselves as parents.
And knowing that it's okay.
And knowing that it's okay. Yes, thank you. That's very important because sometimes we don't think it's okay and we feel guilty and we don't realize the dangers that we're causing ourselves.
Oh, yes.
Right? So let's get started.
Okay.
And let's talk about what it is. Like, what is parent burnout?
So parent burnout is basically emotional, physical, or mental exhaustion that a parent experiences when there's high levels of stress and they have lack support or they lack resources. So it's oftentimes feeling like you have nothing left to give.
Yeah. And what's the difference with parent burnout and like regular burnout or like regular stress?
So I would say regular stress is just our natural way our body responds to internal and external pressures. So once those pressures let up or once that situation is resolved, the stress tends to decrease. But with burnout, it's prolonged stress that is going unmanaged. So we tend to just continue to have that burnout, and it causes you to it causes you to have detachment from others. It causes for you to be emotionally drained and just not be able to deal with everyday responsibilities.
Yeah. So there's like no end to the stress.
It's prolonged.
It's prolonged. Yeah. What are some signs that as a parent you can see if you're heading that way?
Okay, so if you notice that you have little patience for your children, if you find yourself feeling frustrated or easily irritable or constantly yelling, if you notice that you have increased your alcohol use or your substance use, if you find little joy in activities with your children and it feels like dealing with your children is a chore, you know, if you're feeling that guilt or shame, feeling like, hey, I don't feel like I'm doing enough for my child, all of those are signs that you're leading towards burnout. And just feeling tired, overly tired, feeling stressed, feeling like you get no rest and that you just can't move forward.
Would that be more on the, like, not only one day, because we all have a day that we're just tired and we feel all those things maybe on one day, but we're talking about more than one day.
That means it's consistent, it's prolonged, it's going on from way more than one day, and it's just, it's when you don't take that time to practice that self-care, or you don't take that time to really focus on self.
Yeah.
And it continues to be prolonged, and it continues to go on, and then it becomes burnout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we do as parents if we start analyzing or reflecting, like, wait, I've been feeling like this for a long time, like let's say a week or 2 weeks. How can I start to self-care? Like, how do we do that while I have 3 kids, maybe a full-time job, and maybe no help?
So it's really important to, one, find your community, right? Whether it's family, friends, your neighbors, and don't be afraid to ask for that help. You know, being okay with being vulnerable and letting know, like, it's okay. Having stress is normal. We all go through stress. So just knowing that it's okay to be like, hey, I need this space. I need this time. Let me reach out to my supports, you know, or just making sure that you take that 5 minutes to 10 minutes for yourself to take a back seat and say, hey, my kids are doing their homework. Let me take some time for myself. Let me go even sit in the bathroom and just take a deep breath, or let me just go read a book, or let me just go take a walk around the block. Just letting yourself be okay with saying, hey, I need that time.
And you're absolutely right with the piece of let it be okay. Because I know a lot of times when our kids are, let's say, doing homework or doing something, we feel we need to do something. Like we need to either be washing the clothes, washing the dishes, cooking dinner, cleaning the house, because we all know that that work never ends. So we feel like we need to be doing something. Like we feel guilty to lay on the couch for 10 minutes.
Well, you said the key thing. It's never going to end.
You're right.
It's never going to end. So
you
have to be like, okay, this is going to be here when I come back in that 5 minutes.
It's
going to be here. So just being like, okay, I need to be able to replenish myself. I need to rest. I need to reset so that I can be able to take care of my kids and be able to move forward and make sure that they are okay.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you can't pour from an empty cup. No, you cannot. So if you have to say, hey, let me go take this 5-10 minutes, take it.
Yeah.
Take it. Self-care is very important.
It's very important. So how do we better balance that without feeling guilty?
I would say just knowing that taking this time for yourself overall is going to benefit the family, right? Because if you're frustrated, if you're tired, if you're irritable, if you're yelling at your kids, they feel that. Right? So when you take that time for yourself and really pour into yourself, then you become more engaged. You become more calm. You become more present. And it's creating that positive environment for your kids. So now they feel safe. They feel secure. They can see, hey, mom was feeling this way and she took some time for herself and now she feels good. So then you start modeling those behaviors for your kids. So it's don't look at it like I should feel guilty. Look at it as this is going to be positive reinforcement for my kids.
And you know what I do notice about kids? That they want you to relax with them. That's spending time with them. A lot of times, and it's happened to me, where it's like, hey, mom, come hang out with us. And I'm so busy with whatever needs to happen that I don't give them that time because I feel like I should be doing something else. But even just laying down with them, right, is okay. Wow.
And it's honestly, your children see when you're stressed. They can see it. They can feel it. They feel it too. So just being like, okay, I've noticed that my child is saying, hey, take a step back, mom, come interact with me. Come spend some time with me. Saying, okay, this will be here. Those clothes will be here. That laundry will be here. Those dishes, the cooking, it's going to be there. Let me take some time, separate, and engage with my kids and practice these coping skills, because just family time or spending that time with your kids or just giving yourself that grace to just be there and be present is helpful for you and the family.
Yeah. And it does take practice. It does take practice, and it does take, like you said, it's okay. Like when you told me that's very powerful, because we tell that to other people, but it doesn't feel like it applies to us for some reason. And I think just remembering that it's okay. So if somebody's listening, it's okay to give yourself that time. It's okay to breathe.
Give yourself compassion and be kind and know that it's okay to need others. It's okay to take a break, and it's okay to just need to say no. To say no. Set those boundaries. Say no. It's okay. Because a lot of time I think, especially when you're working parents and, you have to make sure the work is good. You got to make sure home is good. You got to make sure the children is good. So it's like you're putting yourself in all these putting out fires at all times, right? It's okay to say no and delegate those tasks. If you know that your child is old enough to cook, hey, you want to cook today? Give them that task.
Yeah.
If you know that your children are able to do that laundry, hey, can you help me sort the clothes? Can you do the laundry for me?
Yeah.
Just being able to say, hey, if you take some of these tasks away, it'll be less stress and less pressure on me.
Yes. And you know what? You're right. Because a lot of times as a parent, we want to do it ourselves for them. We want to take care of them. We want them to feel, it's a mommy thing that you want to take care of your family. But when we keep them out of that process, I think we take away from them a lot of things as well. Like the sense of accomplishment, sense of things we do together. They feel good taking care of you also. And we're not used to that, but you're right. It's teaching them that they can take care of mommy too. Because what are we training them for when they get their family, right? They got to contribute to taking care of each other.
Of course.
So you're absolutely right. How does parent burnout connect to mental health?
So if parent burnout goes untreated, it can lead to depression. It can lead to hopelessness and helplessness. It could lead to, self-harm or harm to others. So it's really important that when you find yourself with these signs early on, that you seek the support that you need, okay? It can also, we all know that the mind and the body are connected, so it can also lead to physical decline. It can lead to headaches. It could lead to muscle aches and weakened immune system. So just making sure that by practicing these self-care and practicing these techniques, that you're maintaining your overall well-being.
Yeah. So. At what point would you tell someone that might be experiencing parent burnout that they need to seek help from a mental health professional?
I would say when it starts impairing your functioning, right? Okay. So if you notice that you can no longer do the responsibilities that you're supposed to do, if it is the cooking or the cleaning, or if you notice that you're hopeless and you're feeling like you just can't do it anymore and you're wanting to give up, I think it's important to seek support.
Okay. And just as an insert, we here at Linwood Unified have the supports, have the connections. We have the Health Collaborative. We have licensed clinical social workers at every school site that even though we can't service adults, we service our students, but we have the referrals. We have the partnerships with our agencies that we can provide support. So if anybody's listening to this that needs that mental health support, please reach out, because we're here to help you and we're here to support you. And that's the purpose of this podcast, is really to just let the parents know that we are here to support them in the different challenges that are happening everywhere to all of us all the time. So for parents who are currently experiencing parent burnout or are on their way, how does emotional resilience connect to that? Like, how do they balance that?
So once again, I would say just knowing that it's okay, right? That's going back to the knowing that it's okay, and giving yourself compassion and knowing that stress is normal. We all experience stress, right? So giving yourself that grace, being kind to yourself, also just having those check-ins with your kids, because they see it, they feel it, right? Absolutely. So letting them know, like, hey, mommy or daddy is going through these things, I'm working on it, just so they don't feel confused, just so they don't feel like, not knowing what's going on,
scared,
feel anxiety or feeling anxious or feeling nervous, just letting them know, like, hey, mommy is working on this. Mommy is feeling this way. That way they're not confused and they have an idea of what's going on.
And that is so important. And I think sometimes as parents, we hide things because we don't want to worry them, right? But I think hiding it worries them more.
I agree.
Right? Because they're human and they're going to have feelings too as they get overwhelmed. So it's kind of knowing, like, oh, my mommy
has those
feelings too. They're normal, right?
And also being able to show them, like, hey, I'm utilizing my coping skills when I feel stressed. So this is what you can do when you feel stressed. So modeling those behaviors and letting them know, like, hey, it's okay to feel these things, but what are we going to do to work on them?
Yeah. And that builds resilience with time, right? And why is it important for parents to put those boundaries down, get self-care, be open with whoever is their support system for long-term wellness.
It's important for long-term wellness because you want to make sure that you are sustaining your mental health, right? You want to make sure that you are doing everything in your power to, for your mental health, for your physical health, and making sure that you're doing everything to keep your family safe and keep your environment safe and keeping you safe. Yeah. So it's really important to make sure that you are tackling all those different aspects of stress so that you can make sure that you are well balanced for your family and for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a reminder for all of us, it's everything comes in seasons. Yes. So this stressful time with, let's say, when they're babies, that's so physically stressful because you're not sleeping, you're physically drained with all the attention the baby needs, and then they become toddlers and that phase is gone. So now you're in a different stage, and now we're in this stage. One day they will become adults and we won't be in the same season anymore. Yeah. So I think remembering as parents that every parenting journey comes in a season and enjoying it. I think a lot of us forget how to enjoy the seasons, of parenting, and we get very overwhelmed with the chores. I think that's the biggest thing. The chores that have to get done on a daily basis.
Making sure you're meeting all the basic needs and you're starting to neglect yourself.
And we're starting to neglect, and I think a lot of us do it more frequently than not, So let's say we don't have family to support us, right? But we need to build a community. Okay. How are some of the things that parents can build a community without having the family support?
Okay, without having family support, I would definitely say looking for different parenting groups within the community. We have parent workshops. So coming to the parent workshops and finding your community, I think that's very important. Yes. Making sure that if you can't physically go out and find your community, look online, because there's people that are going through what you're going through. Yes. And it'll make you feel less alone, less isolated. It'll validate your experiences. You'll have somebody that you can go and express your feelings to and be able to say, hey, I'm going through this, but it doesn't define me, or just honestly going to the schools and looking into after-school programs because that can also provide you with some time to yourself to be able to decompress. And all the schools have them. Yes. We have things together. So just making sure you utilize the resources within your community.
That's great because all our schools do have after-school programs that if you get out, let's say at 5, you have at least a little hour to pick the kids up and do whatever it is that needs to happen. I know that's not a long time, but at least it gives you some cushion.
Something.
Yes, and I do appreciate what you said about the parent workshops that our partners have. Like we have them here at the district office. We have them at all the school sites, and all our partner agencies also have them. And meeting parents, like you said, that are in the same circle. If your kids are in sports, meeting those parents. And sometimes they say, hey, I can take your child. If you trust them, right? You're going to make sure you trust them before you release your child to anybody that you trust them. Yes. And, a lot of times we want to do it all, but we can't. We can't do it all. So balancing is really important.
Yes.
And what would you say about, as a parent seeking parent burnout, like how involved, what if they can't be involved right now academically with their students?
If the parent can't be academically involved?
Like if the parent can't be, like, how, let's say a student has every student has homework. And let's say they can't be involved for whatever reason. Let's say they work and then they have to do maybe a second job or they have to feel like they have to do dinner. Well, everyone has to do dinner. You don't feel like you have to do dinner. And they're not academically involved. Like, how does a parent work on not feeling guilty about that right now?
I think it's important just to know that there are school supports too, right? So I know at the secondary levels, there's there's tutoring before and after school.
Yes.
So, and during school on Wednesdays. So on Wednesdays, they have Wild Wednesdays, and students are able to get tutoring services, it's a 30-minute window where they can get tutoring services. So just utilizing your school supports as well. If you know that, hey, mom has to make sure that the financials are good, mom has to work, and you're making sure that the basic needs are met. If you can't, necessarily be able to help with the homework, making sure that they go to interventions before or after school or during school. During after school Think Together, they have homework help time. So utilizing your resources within your community.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Yeah, those are great reminders, because I was going to say you can't do it all the time,
Sure.
but there are a lot of resources out there. Here in Linwood Unified, I keep saying that, but we have a lot of resources. Yes. We have interventions, tutoring, everything you mentioned. So it's important, parents, that you find those resources that your school has. You find the support that is out there, and don't feel guilty.
No.
Don't feel guilty. So do you have some tips for parents on how to set boundaries? That's a difficult one for me. That's a difficult one, but how do we do that without feeling guilty?
Setting boundaries, honestly, it's just practicing the word no.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple. Practicing
simple.
the word no and being okay with it,
Yes.
Because you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
So if you cannot complete all those tasks, it's okay to say, you know what, I've checked off one, I've checked off two. Be proud of the ones you checked off, right?
That's good.
And then whatever you can't get to, you'll eventually get to it.
Yeah.
Being able to say, no, I can't get to that right now.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow.
I like that. I like that. And I like the check off. Like, I think as as parents, we want to complete all these things, which overwhelm us. But having that check off, like, look, you were able to do this, we were able to do this. That's an accomplishment in
itself. Focus on what you've done right? Focus on what you've already accomplished, and don't really solely focus on what you need to do. Focus what you've already done.
Yeah.
That's a good way.
And how do you deal with family that criticize you for saying no? That's a different, I know it's something in there, but it goes with parent burnout, because sometimes we feel that we can't say no, or that we have to do everything perfect, or that people are judging us because
those societal pressures.
The societal pressures.
You have to be, honestly, you have to learn that compassion for yourself and being kind for yourself and saying, okay, I understand how they feel, but I have to focus on me. I have to do what's right for me and my family. I have to do what I can to make sure that when I wake up tomorrow, I feel good, so that my children can succeed. So you have to be able to drown out the noise.
Drown out the noise.
Drown out the noise. And sometimes people don't understand what you're going through, right? So, and you can try to teach them. You can try to educate them on what you're going through, but sometimes you have to take a step back and say, okay, I understand what you're saying, but I'm going to do this for me. And be okay with it. Once again, it's the being okay with it.
You know what? That's a great. I'm gonna title this. It's okay to be okay with it. You have to be okay with it. Yeah. I guess it's prioritizing self, and it's okay with if people do talk because your house is not clean today. It's okay, because if anything happens to you, who is going to be affected?
Your children.
Your children are going to be affected. The people that actually love you, that support you, are going to be affected.
Yes.
And everybody else that talks,
are going to go right on their way.
They're going to go right on their way. Yes. So this is a difficult part, but what advice would you give to a parent right now that is burnt out, that borderline probably needs mental health support?
Okay. I would definitely say to create a support system, create your circle of support. I would definitely say practice some mindfulness and meditation, because even 5 minutes of just practicing deep breathing can reduce stress, and it can help you regain your focus and your control.
Okay.
Also practicing physical activity, getting out, walking, running, doing some cardio, because that also reduces stress, but it also increases your energy levels.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it gives you a sense of purpose, and it builds that self-esteem. So I definitely feel like exercising would be great. Also seeking that support. seeking that therapeutic support and seeking that community support so that you know that you're not alone and that it's, you can express your feelings. Journaling is a great way to be able to have check-ins with yourself and say, hey, this is how my mood has been. And also when you're doing the therapy, it's providing you coping skills. So things that you did not know that you can utilize, you're learning, right?
Yes.
So it's not just the deep breathing. It could be listening to music. If that's something that brings you joy or that's something that reduces your stress, listening to music, going and taking a shower. It's simple things that you can do. Go watch TV for 5 minutes.
Yes.
Go cook.
Yes.
So it's just little things that you can do throughout your journey to just help you sustain and get through another day.
Absolutely. One of the things that I remember when my kids were little is I would put them down to bed at 7 p.m. And I know that's early, and a lot of people say that's early, but kids need 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. But then I started noticing that was my time. A lot of times parents keep their kids with them up late. And it's kind of like, no, 1, they need their sleep, but 2, it's for you. It's for your time, right? Like you need your own time. And yes, we have to clean. Yes, we have to cook. Yes, we have to put the laundry away. But in the 2-3 hours that we have on our own, we can use that to do exactly what you said, right? Like make it intentional so we don't have parent burnout.
Yes.
Yeah. If anyone is watching that is having any negative or suicidal thoughts, because we don't know, right? Because they're so burnt out.
Yes.
What would you tell them to do at this time?
At this time, I would definitely recommend calling 911 or calling the PMRT team and being assessed for parent burnout and for suicidal ideation.
Yeah. Yes. We want to make sure everybody's safe.
Yes.
And there's a lot of societal things happening right now that people are feeling overwhelmed.
Yes.
And we never want anyone to feel like they don't have hope and that they don't have support or resources, because there are support and resources out there for anyone that needs it, including our adults. We're not only for students, we're for families. We are, this podcast and our district is designed to support our families. So if there's anybody hearing that is not feeling right, call 911.
Yes.
Because we want to make sure you're okay, and we want to make sure you got the support that you need to be successful. As Mental Health Awareness Month continues, we will continue talking about these topics. But before we end today's podcast, I wanted to ask Ms. Price, what are the top 3 tips that you would give to parents? And I think it's going to probably be what we keep saying, and it's okay, because we need to be reminded. It takes 21 times for us to hear something to remember it. So they could not get burnt out. What would you say to them?
Prioritize self-care, ask for help when needed, and make sure that you have check-ins with your family and let them know, hey, what's going on. Those would be my 3 tips. Checking in with your family, knowing that's more than 3. I have multiple.
It's okay, because I was going to add a couple
know those
too.
early warning signs that you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, making sure that you ask for help, making sure that you're setting those boundaries, making sure that you are prioritizing your self-care and your mental health.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the biggest ones also that I would add for my own, because I know how I am, is don't be proud. Because a lot of times we think we could do it ourselves. And we don't do all of these things that are necessary. Like we have a pride, we have an ego, and we're like, no, we got this, we got this, we got this. But many of the times we don't have it. And it can cause a lot of things that are not good for us. So thank you for that.
Oh, no problem.
Like, I really appreciate you being here and sharing that information. Was there anything else that you wanted to add before we conclude today's podcast?
Oh, no, I think that's it.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Again, parent burnout is real. Parent guilt is real. But you matter, your life matters, and it's really important for us to seek the support that we need as parents so we can be successful, not only taking care of our children, but taking care of others. Yes. We need to take care of ourselves. Like Ms. Price said, we cannot fill someone else's cup if ours is empty, right? What was the other one? You have to be okay with it?
Yes, you have to be okay. It's okay to say no.
You have to be okay, and it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no.
It's okay to say no.
Yeah. The same way
Set
we
those
say no.
boundaries.
The same way we say no to our kids, because we say no to our kids regularly. We can do that if it's not for our,
Our
well-being,
benefits.
for our benefits, and set those boundaries. And boundaries are, I'm not used to that, but I'm starting to get used to it and seeing the importance of it.
Oh, yeah.
For our health and to avoid burnout. We want everyone healthy and happy. And these are important topics that we want to make sure our parents know, and just to have that reassurance that you're not alone. We're all in the same position where we get burnt out, but we need to be mindful and we need to monitor it, because one more thing before we end, stress does kill.
Yes, it does.
Stress does add another layer to our physiological, and we keep talking about this. Stress is really, really dangerous. It's the same thing as parent burnout.
Yes.
So please take care of yourselves. Please look for resources in the community, in our schools, in our district. We care about you, and we want to make sure you're healthy and you're safe. If you need any support, please reach out to your local school site. We have licensed clinical social workers. We have SEL specialists. We have community school case managers. Yes. We have community liaisons. And, of course, our wonderful, wonderful administrators that we have at all our school sites. Here at the district office, we can connect you as well. Don't be shy to ask for help or support, and we're here to guide you and support you. So, again, thank you for joining us today. And parent burnout, it's real. Please take care of yourselves. And we hope you join us next week as we share another episode to keep talking about Mental Health Awareness Month and how we can be better as a community. So thank you for joining us, and have a great day.